Previously on In Times Like These.
Do I know you, son?
No, you don't. But I know you. The two of us need to have a serious conversation.
Bernice and Virgil already don't have visitation rights. But that could change if Zeke allows them to.
You saying that you plan to keep Zeke from having visitation?
I plan to take it a step further. I'm going to make sure Zeke gives up his parental rights altogether.
What do you think Finnegan's end goal is here?
I trust Finnegan enough to know that he won't hurt Alan's chances of becoming CEO. I'm certain that he only sees it as an investment to be a Russo Jewelers shareholder.
You'd be a complete fool if you put your full trust in Finnegan. Because whatever happens next, prepare to be seen as an enemy of the family for the rest of your life, including Alan.
Do you really have to barge in uninvited, Finnegan?
Have you forgotten my request? Because I feel like I'm being ignored, Heidi, and it's testing my patience.
You needed to see me, Mrs. Mitchell.
Yes, believe it or not, this is more of a personal matter rather than business.
What is it? What can you tell me about Zeke's father?
Why are you looking at me like that, Jackie?
Because I don't see why you'd be cool with Virgil living with us after everything he's done.
I've been taught never to speak with strangers.
Fine. My name is Ben. Ben Russo.
Russo? As in Russo Jewelers?
Let's get back to the topic. How much will it cost you to leave Valley Park for good?
Requesting Russo Jewelers shares is a lot to ask of me.
The request is actually quite simple, Heidi.
Stop pretending like we won't create a disaster!
Yet you didn't seem to care about how difficult my life would be when you tried to put me in prison, when all along that's exactly where your husband belongs.
Why do you want to know about Zeke's dad?
Why do you think I want to know, Dee Dee? Your boyfriend got my teen daughter pregnant. I need to know where he comes from. Most of all, you're supposed to answer my questions when asked.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Mitchell, but I don't feel too comfortable getting involved.
If you're going to continue working for me, then I'm going to need to trust you. Since this involves my grandchild, I know Udell will feel the same.
What you mad at me for? It's your house.
Yeah, and you told Virgil it was okay to stay over before I could tell him no.
Does that mean you're going to call him to tell him he can't stay at the house?
Why does someone like you want me out of town so badly? Maybe I should ask how you, an unemployed individual, is able to stay at a luxury hotel like Theodosius's palace.
Good at saving, and I won't be staying here long.
That's right. Because you'll receive the offer of a lifetime once you leave Valley Park.
You and I both know you're seeking revenge rather than seeking justice. Why can't you just move on like a normal person?
I tried to move on after waking up from my coma, but you clearly had other plans.
Why not ask me to make a public apology? Why go after Russo Jewelers shares instead?
Nothing you say or do will make me change my mind, Heidi. If you want to embarrass yourself by issuing a public apology, then be my guest. But I'm still getting those shares.
I really don't know much about Zeke's dad at all, Mrs. Mitchell. I never even met him yet.
Yet? So you do plan on meeting him?
Not sure when, but I know it's gonna happen someday.
Guess you'll be more useful than I realized.
Fine. As long as Virgil is serious about getting his own place, he can stay, but for a very short time. But you need to tell me why you have no issue with him staying over.
He's Zeke's father. On top of that, I don't remember him asking for any sort of help before, so I knew he was really struggling.
That's supposed to erase the fact that he can't be trusted?
I get that Virgil was gone for all these years, but why do you seem so offended by his presence, Jackie?
And you still won't tell me what you have to gain by me leaving town?
The less you know, the better.
To the best of my knowledge, I've never done anything to upset your family, Ben. The only people who know I'm in town is my family.
You think you can get away with lying to me? I know the Opinions know you're in town, too.
Something that my family would know. It's all coming back to me now. You and Quinn are screwing each other.
Out of my office, Finnegan. Unless you want to face more charges for trespassing.
I'll leave, but you'll hear from me soon if you don't want to visit your husband in prison.
Mrs. Mitchell, why are you looking at me like that? Because I'm beginning to think you know a lot more than you're saying.
I told you everything I know.
Then you better hope you're telling me the truth. What offends me is that Virgil left you and Zeke high and dry to fend for yourselves.
I never thought I'd see him again. The fact that he's back makes me wonder if family actually means something to him.
Be careful, Bernice. Don't let him suck you into his mess again.
Looks like I hit a nerve. You gonna hit me in front of all these people?
Just take my offer. Being lonely in this life don't seem easy to me, Ben. I spent years being away from my family, and I ain't gonna miss more time. Keep your money. We're gonna be seeing a lot of each other.
Previously on In Times Like These.
Your boyfriend got my teen daughter pregnant. I need to know where he comes from. Most of all, you're supposed to answer my questions when asked.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Mitchell, but I don't feel too comfortable getting
If you're
involved.
going to continue working for me, then I'm going to need to trust you. Since this involves my grandchild, I know Udell will feel the same.
Think you can get away with lying to me? I know the Opinions know you're in town, too.
Something that my family would know. It's all coming back to me now. You and Quinn are screwing each other.
Why are you so focused on protecting Finnegan?
My focus is on protecting my company.
Finnegan was behind the house fire. His actions put me in a coma, Pacho. I know that for a fact. Which means that Finnegan wouldn't dare create a lawsuit.
I'm not willing to take that chance. I'd like you to leave.
Out of my office, Finnegan. Unless you want to face more charges for trespassing.
I'll leave, but you'll hear from me soon if you don't want to visit your husband in prison.
Here are half of my Russo Jewelers shares. You happy now?
I'm very happy. Thank you so much, Heidi.
Save it. Let's just move on from here.
Not quite. There is one more favor I feel like I deserve.
You needed me for something, Mom?
Wouldn't you tell me about setting up a TikTok account?
Why are you interested in setting up a TikTok all of a sudden?
I've been thinking about how Bernice Franklin went viral a little while back. Of course she went viral for the wrong reasons. But I'd like to go viral for the right reasons, and that's to expose Finnegan Burke to the entire world.
Now Wanda is asking me to give her info on Virgil.
Which is a good thing. That means you can get her to trust you, Dee Dee. I'll call you later.
Did you need to speak with me about Mr. Mitchell?
Place you work at, Quinn. You got a moment before you start work?
Finnegan, you've got shares to a multi-billion-dollar company. I gave you exactly what you wanted.
Not exactly.
If you think I'm gonna be a prisoner to your mind games, then you are sadly mistaken.
The only person in the room who is mistaken is you, Heidi. The only other thing I want is your husband's shares.
Do you really think it's a good idea to go after Finnegan?
It's not that we're going after him, Vanessa. My desire is to see him be held accountable for what he's done.
Mom, I can't help but think about how Pacho Torres wouldn't let Quinlan Franklin interview you because he didn't want Finnegan to take legal action against global news press.
That's the reason he gave. But I'm certain that Finnegan has got some hold over Pacho.
You and I need to speak about Gabriel.
Is he all right?
He's doing just fine, and I plan to keep it that way.
What you trying to say? I'm aware that your father is back in Valley Park, and the things I've heard about him aren't good.
Did Yvette tell you? Because I never told her what sort of stuff my dad was involved in.
Doesn't matter who told me what. All that matters is that your father stays away from Gabriel.
Look, Mr. Mitchell, I don't plan on setting up a meeting with my dad and Gabriel anytime soon.
They won't ever be meeting, Zeke. Which is why I need you to give up all of your parental rights.
Get out of my face before I call security.
You're really gonna waste everyone's time when I ain't even inside of the building? I'm the one who should be making a complaint.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't know? Your little boyfriend put his hands on me the other day.
Get it, Finnegan. There's no possible way that Gianni would ever sign his shares over to you. It's his birthright.
Give your husband some credit. I think he'd rather be a free man.
You know that you're only asking for trouble by seeking a portion of Gianni's shares.
Do you really believe that Finnegan is blackmailing Pacho with something?
I wouldn't have said it if I weren't sure, Vanessa.
What does Dad think about all of this?
I didn't get the chance to discuss with your father about expressing my thoughts on video.
What I'm trying to ask you, Mom, is if you think Dad would be okay with you seeking justice this way.
What you mean I gotta give up all parental rights? Yvette's already got sole custody.
But your name is not on the birth certificate.
If I give up all my parental rights, then that means I can't see Gabriel, right? If this is all about my parents, then you don't need to worry. Yvette wouldn't let it happen.
And it will never happen as long as you don't get visitation rights either.
Do you honestly think you can look my son in the eye and tell him that you wouldn't let me lay eyes on him growing up?
This is about keeping my grandson safe. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way, Zeke.
What did you do to Ben?
I ain't do nothing to your man. Like I said, he put hands on me. In fact, he's the one who approached me, trying to pay me off to leave town again. Explain something to me, Quinn. How come your boyfriend wants me out of Valley Park so badly?
I think you should do as Ben asks. His family is very powerful.
That's right, but they ain't as dangerous as the opinions are. And the opinions spared my life, which means I can stay here for good.
All I want is to be a business partner.
It doesn't matter what you want. It's never gonna happen.
All right. I'll be even more generous by giving you extra time to convince Gianni to accept my offer. Except for failing to put me in prison, you tend to achieve everything you put your mind to.
Your father and I both agree that God will make sure that Finnegan is punished for his actions.
Doesn't that mean Dad would just want you to leave this alone?
Do you believe that I should miss out on the opportunity to make sure that the truth about Finnegan Burke is exposed?
I get that my parents ain't the best role models, but they wouldn't hurt Gabriel. You're just being too extreme.
I'll do anything to protect my grandson.
He's alive because I gave up my kidney, Mr. Mitchell. I'd do anything to protect him too.
And since you've already shown that you'd make sacrifices for Gabriel's sake, then that means you'd be willing to make the ultimate sacrifice by allowing my family to be the only family Gabriel knows to ensure his safety.
Why do you even want to stay here, Virgil?
Because your brother is my son. My whole family is here.
Don't you dare say another word. You and I are not family. The things you did to me as a child is not how people should treat their family.
There you go, twisting your view of the past.
Let me make something very clear to you, Virgil. I worked extremely hard to make something of my life, and I promise to be more of a threat than the opinions if you dare try to break down everything I've built.
Previously on In Times Like These.
What you mean I gotta give up all parental rights? Yvette's already got sole custody.
But your name is not on the birth certificate.
Do you honestly think you can look my son in the eye and tell him that you wouldn't let me lay eyes on him growing up?
This is about keeping my grandson safe. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way, Zeke.
What did you do to Ben? I ain't do nothing to your man. Like I said, he put hands on me. In fact, he's the one who approached me, trying to pay me off to leave town again. Explain something to me, Quinn. How come your boyfriend wants me out of Valley Park so badly?
Your father and I both agree that God will make sure that Finnegan is punished for his actions.
Doesn't that mean Dad would just want you to leave this alone?
Do you believe that I should miss out on the opportunity to make sure that the truth about Finnegan Burke is exposed?
The only person in the room who is mistaken is you, Heidi. The only other thing I want is your husband's shares.
There's no possible way that Gianni would ever sign his shares over to you. It's his birthright.
Give your husband some credit. I think he'd rather be a free man.
You know that you're only asking for trouble by seeking a portion of Gianni's shares.
What's troubling you, Heidi?
You're about to hear something you really won't like.
Now I'm beginning to get worried. What is it?
It's Finnegan. I signed over half of my Russo Jewelers shares to him, Gianni.
Why do you seem upset with me, Jeremiah?
I'm more confused than upset. I just don't get why you didn't include me in this plan of yours to tell the internet how much Finnegan hurt all of us.
I'm here just like you asked, Zeke. Can we make this quick? I've got a lot to do today.
Do you know that your dad is trying to get me to sign away my visitation and parental rights to Gabriel? Why didn't you answer my calls the other day, Quinlan?
Because I was trying not to go off on you for confronting Virgil.
Please tell me that after all these years of marriage, you finally found a sense of humor.
I'm sorry, Gianni.
How did you even let something like this happen?
This was the last thing I wanted.
So the question, how on earth did Finnegan Burke get shares in my family's company?
I did it to protect you.
Protect me from what, Heidi?
Get your feelings and think for a moment. Unless you've forgotten that you ran Finnegan over all those years ago. Because of that, he not only has my shares, but he wants your shares as well.
Did you really believe that I wouldn't support your decision?
To be honest, I wasn't sure what you would have said or done if I told you what I was planning. Forgive me, Jeremiah, but I've been feeling like you just wanted to let everything go.
I'm sorry you felt that way, Shelley, but you're wrong. Why would I want to just let go of everything Finnegan Burke has done?
Because you expressed how you didn't want to take any action. My dad asked you to do what?
What did you expect to happen when you told your parents how scared you are of my parents?
Hold up, Zeke. I never told my parents that your dad came back to Valley Park.
However they found out, I need to make it clear to you that I ain't giving up on our son that easily.
only trying to help you.
When did I ever ask you for your help, Ben?
Because of what we both know about Virgil, I couldn't sit around and do nothing while he roamed free.
Do you not realize that you've only made things worse?
There wouldn't be any evidence against me after all these years, Heidi.
Finnegan and I were involved then. You had a...
So did other people, since Finnegan was still in the police force. You should have had enough sense to consider that before you let him blackmail you.
That wasn't a risk I was willing to take, Gianni.
Well, you should have. Most of all, you should have come to me the moment Finnegan demanded the shares.
What is it you want me to do, Shelley?
I expected you to be motivated to see Finnegan receive justice. Scratch that. I expected you to be even more motivated than me.
Well, you went viral on TikTok. People are giving Finnegan the side eye. And I can promise you this. I'll do whatever it takes to protect you and our family from what's to come. Because we both know that Finnegan won't let this go.
What exactly did you mean by that, Zeke?
I gave you no issue when you said you wanted full custody of Gabriel. And since I let you do that, I was hoping you'd let me have a place in his life.
From what it sounds like, you won't have to worry about being pushed out of Gabriel's life as long as you cut your parents off.
It ain't that easy, and you know it, Yvette.
Well, you need to choose. It's either Gabriel or your parents.
Are you telling me that Virgil threatened you, Quinlan? Did he hurt you?
I'm not the one who got hurt. In fact, we both know that he was the one who got hurt when you tried to pay him off to leave town.
Did he show up at your house?
Worse, he showed up right outside Global News Press. And you can't imagine my surprise when I believed what that monster told me about you. I actually believed what a habitual liar told me about the man I love.
All right, I'm sorry. I know I should have told you what happened at Theodosius's palace the other day. But what I won't do is apologize for trying to keep you safe.
All right, Gianni.
I'm sorry. Happy now? I'm sorry for putting us in this position. I thought Finnegan only wanted my
Clearly,
shares.
he didn't just want your shares, Heidi. Were you planning on keeping it a secret if...
Well, you know now.
But the issue is that you told me when it was too late.
Are you seriously willing to risk your freedom so that you can keep your Russo Jewelers shares?
I'm sure that you're aware by now that Shelley Dorval made a TikTok blaming me for ending up in a coma.
I doubt you're only here to express your grievances over a viral video, Finnegan.
Exactly. What I need you to do is create some serious damage control.
How could you even ask me that? Our son will always come first, Yvette.
Then how come it's so difficult for you to cut ties with your criminal parents?
Because it's unfair for me to have to cut off people in my own family just so I can see my own kid. Something I'm automatically entitled to.
That's where you're wrong, Zeke. Because your name isn't even on the birth certificate. Before you do anything else, don't forget that you don't have the upper hand.
Virgil has already created more than enough damage in my life. The last thing I need is him driving a wedge between us, Ben. But I need you to let me handle Virgil my own way.
What is your way?
Letting him be his own worst enemy and self-destruct.
So you really want me to pretend like I don't know what he did to you?
That's exactly what I need you to do.
Previously on In Times Like These.
He's Zeke's father. On top of that, I don't remember him asking for any sort of help before, so I knew he was really struggling.
That's supposed to erase the fact that he can't be trusted?
I get that Virgil was gone for all these years, but why do you seem so offended by his presence, Jackie?
I gave you no issue when you said you wanted full custody of Gabriel. And since I let you do that, I was hoping you'd let me have a place in his life.
From what it sounds like, you won't have to worry about being pushed out of Gabriel's life as long as you cut your parents off.
It ain't that easy, and you know it, Yvette.
Well, you need to choose. It's either Gabriel or your parents.
Everyone just shut up! Ezador, you need to get the press to forget this whole thing. Alan, Vivian, it's best that you two lay low.
You've been pretty quiet lately, Alan. It makes me wonder whether you've given up your vendetta against Vivian and the Torres siblings.
On the contrary, Nana. My plans are already being set in motion.
How come you didn't come home straight from school, Yvette?
Because Zeke wanted to meet with me, and you both know exactly why.
We were going to tell you.
Were you, Dad? Because you and Mom literally just made decisions about Gabriel without me.
Why have you been here all day, Zeke?
Because I'm trying to process that I might never see my son again.
Yo. Just because my father passed away doesn't mean you get to speak to me like one of your friends. I need to make sure that you're not slacking on the project you promised would make me richer than I already am.
Fine. I'm sorry. Don't worry, I won't let you down.
Who were you on the phone with, Virgil?
What have you done, Alan?
Since Nono refuses to kick Vivian out of the estate, I can't discuss it with you here. Just trust that I have everything under control.
When you assured me of that last time, your actions brought unwanted attention to the entire family.
Don't worry, Nona. I won't bring our family shame.
What are y'all talking about?
Zeke shouldn't have mentioned anything to you.
Then why didn't you? Why let me be blindsided by the fact that you're trying to get him to sign away his parental rights?
Don't let him make you see us as the ones who are in the wrong, Yvette. It's clear that he's using you to try and get your father and me to change our minds.
Are you saying that I'm not capable of thinking for myself?
What you mean by that, Zeke?
Because my dad's back in Valley Park. The Mitchells are trying to get me to sign off my parental rights.
What? They can't do that!
They got money and full custody of Gabriel. They can do it, Dee Dee.
How could they do this to me?
I don't get what you mean by that.
Your boyfriend got my teen daughter pregnant. I need to know where he comes from. Most of all, you're supposed to answer my questions when asked.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Mitchell, but I don't feel too comfortable getting
involved. If you're going to continue working for me, then I'm going to need to trust you. Since this involves my grandchild, I know Udell will feel the same.
I was on the phone with my boss, Jackie.
And how come your boss is calling your phone?
How come you're being nosy?
'Cause you're living in my house where my daughter lives.
You do remember she's got a father, right?
As you can see, Vivian, my grandson and I were having a private conversation.
You don't need to be so harsh, Nona. I'll let you in, Vivian. I just told my grandmother that I won't bring shame to the family.
Are you telling me that you plan on silently causing trouble for me?
Not at all. I already got enough satisfaction by causing the mess I made that your little boyfriend was forced to clean up. Actually, I forgot to thank you.
You're thanking me, Alan?
Of course. If it weren't for you, then I would have never realized that I was wasting my time with Xena.
You're welcome, and I'm glad you ain't planning nothing else, because you'll never get the upper hand.
We trust your judgment, Yvette.
Listen to your father. Seeing you take care of Gabriel and you having this close relationship with God, it makes us very proud.
Really finding it hard to believe you both, since you excluded me from a very important decision that involves my baby.
Because you've already got a lot on your plate with resilience in school. Your mother and I didn't want to burden you with any...
No matter how much you try to explain it, it's not going to erase the fact that I feel excluded from being a full-on parent to my son.
I work for them, Zeke. After everything I've done for them, it would have been nice to get a heads up so that I could let you know in person.
Don't blame yourself for this. You're just their employee. You don't got a say in the personal choices they make.
Since they made this choice because of your dad, do you think I'm ever gonna meet him?
Dad's back in Valley Park?
Kimmy, it's nice to see you out of your room.
How long do you plan on staying?
Wow, straight to the point. I won't be here for long, so you ain't got to worry about me taking too much of your space.
My issue ain't about the space, Virgil. I just got out of the hospital, and I barely know you. I'd like to heal comfortably. All I want to do is make it clear that I don't want you trying to spark a conversation with me.
Your boyfriend has bad taste, Vivian. But I can't wait for the whole world and all of history to realize that I do, in fact, have the upper hand.
Did we truly make the right decision in attempting to take away Zeke's parental rights?
It's not an attempt, Wanda. Zeke's gonna sign his rights away whether he likes it or not.
Thankfully, Dee Dee is getting info on Virgil for me. Now that Udell is distracted by that low-class criminal, it's the perfect opportunity to get my company back.
Did we include you in this conversation?
You ain't gotta do all that, Dee Dee. You heard it right, Nichelle. My dad's back in my life.
What made him come back after all these years?
That ain't nothing you need to be concerned about.
Dee Dee, please. She's right. It's too much for me to get into with you.
That's really disappointing. I was really hoping we'd get to know each other while I was staying here.
My daughter made herself clear.
That's how you parent Jackie? Letting her talk to adults any sort of way?
Kimmy is very respectful, Virgil, and a good judge of character. Don't ever tell me how to raise my daughter, Virgil.
Correction. Our daughter.